Okay, wait for everything to connect up. It looks like we're live, guys. Sound check in the chat, please.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, good.
All good? Sounds good. Okay, welcome again, everybody. Thanks for coming. First, I want to apologize for the United States for changing their hour. It seems to mess everything up in the rest of the world. In some places, I had a couple of meetings this week at work, and they didn't go as planned. They were an hour earlier in some places. So, but again, thanks for joining us again on this beautiful March 20 ZBrain meeting. We have, of course, as always, some interesting updates and things looking forward to the next few things we have, core node updates, so on and so forth. And I just want to make sure everyone can see the screen. Are we having a restream issue?
Yeah, but on YouTube it should work, and also on the other
Yep.
platforms. Just
We're
on those windows.
Okay. Well, if you can see the screen, I'm going to go ahead and move forward.
Just move forward. They can it pops up to connect.
All right. Thank you, Rock. Appreciate it. With us, before I forget, is myself, CryptoRex, Marcellus, Rock, Vandar, Monobody, and then we have a BitcoinZ community member account, it looks like. All right, to discuss a little bit of the topics there, these are the things we're going to cover today. As usual, we have a kind of a quick overview. We're going to core updates, recent news, social activity, which is going to be really interesting because I see a huge uptick in social activity. Get BTCZ.com, site updates, and we are planning to have CrateX, but we'll see how that goes, and then community feedback, of course, and then other things that we can talk about along the way in the chat. We welcome questions throughout the stream. We'll read them and try and answer them best as we can throughout the stream as well. Don't hesitate to ask any questions, please. We're going to keep the core version update Yoda for now. I'm opting to call it Zoda as well, but we'll see how it goes. Just kind of an inside joke that we were talking before the meeting, so it's going to be an interesting, but Yoda all the way, version 2.1. I wanted to kind of mention just a few things right here. We're going to go into greater detail with the points, the bullet points we have here. We have some updates that are going to affect the way version 2.07 works, and this is also going to open up a few things to the future with the next core updates all the way up to, I believe, at least up to 3.1 or 3.0, and eventually up to 4, but that's some time away. There's going to be some new development resources available as well that involve kind of more of the documentation for RPC commands and so on and so forth. So that's going to kind of help even onboard more platforms onto the BitcoinZ blockchain and kind of start trying to build an ecosystem out of everything. And then I think we did discuss, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, Marcellus, but we wanna have a kind of a permanent test net, because the testing that we conduct, we kind of do it just as we're releasing new nodes and stuff like that. But I think we want to have a permanent public test net.
Yes, exactly. It's what we were talking about this, because it's not only needed for the core team that tests the updates and so on. Sorry, it's also needed for every application maker. Someone that's like BitPay that will make update can first test it on the testnet. So that will be very nice. Yeah. Thanks, Rex.
Yeah, cool. That's exactly. I think the point of that really is mainly to make sure that people can continuously test and help us test as we're doing these core updates, because Marcellus and I and Monobody and Rock, and we kind of get together and conduct these tests with the core updates to make sure that we're not breaking anything. But it would be nice to have the rest of the community, because we have a lot of different things that are going on, different wallets, especially BitPay Link, other projects that come on board, payment gateways, that we need to make sure that everything works. And especially the mining pools, I think it's very important to have that, the mining pools continuously going to make sure the consensus stays going as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Was there anything else we need to cover on that for now, or are we going to cover it in slides ahead, I believe, Marcellus?
Yes, we can go ahead with the next slide. And yeah, so we are quite now testing the version 2.1 of the BitcoinZ chain, and we will have some changes in this version that since long time we had this Sprout address that was used since the beginning, and it's also still alive. But sometimes there was some issue in this code, and this code will be discontinued. So from this version now, you will nothing lose, but it will not be any longer possible to send some found on this Sprout address. So it's quite transparent for the user, because now the Zapling address is generated by default if you would like have a private address. So, but in the coming years, I encourage you to move your phone from the Sprout address to Zapling address. So this will be mandatory in the future. But yeah, this is the main update that we will have in this version. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, I changed screens accidentally.
No problem.
So basically, we should probably start getting ready, Marcellus, to have everybody move their coins out of the Sprout addresses, which because they're going to be discontinued eventually, right? I mean, they'll still be able to move them out, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we go ahead.
Yep.
So we will be able to move everything out. So your funds aren't going to be locked. Your coins aren't going to be locked. You just can't send to Sprout after we start going into these new updates, so that we can start deactivating Sprout receiving, and then we'll just use Sapling, which obviously is much better. It's a lot faster. I mean, we can use it now already, but we haven't discontinued Sprout yet. So we'll discuss it more as we get closer, but this is kind of a heads up. We wanted to make sure that everybody understands that you should stop sending to Sprout eventually pretty soon on these rounds of updates. So
I guess we could ask community at which stage they will be all like fine with the ZC addresses being discontinued.
So
or
it's not really we don't really have the choice. I would say we have to discontinue this, because it's Sapling is since the beginning here for take the place of the Sprout address.
right.
You know,
Right.
and this is only the continuing of the path that we began since long time, since the beginning, that we chose to have these core updates. And the Sapling address, like Rex has said, it's very more faster, more secure, and yeah, there is no how I can say that, there is no positive point to continue to use ZC addresses. So
Right.
yeah, of course. What I only mean is users that woke up, for example, after 4 years and kept their 1 million, for example, Bitcoin set at ZC address. So they should have, like, you know, all the possibilities to withdraw before we stop supporting it.
Yeah, for sure. There will already be possible to withdraw the coin from this address, but you will not longer.
Okay.
Yes.
But you will not be able to send on it. So it's only on one way that will be discontinued. So the other way, you will always be able to take your coin back. Yeah.
So the coins will never be lost if they're on ZC. That will be possible to.
This coin are as well in the chain, so you cannot lose it.
That's all. I only wanted to double check this.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks for the clarifying that. It basically means that you can withdraw forever. You won't be able to send to Sprout forever. As a core node update, they obviously kind of decommission that address space, as you could say. Okay. Any questions on that? It looks like everything is everything's good. I'm going to the next slide here. So this is the roadmap. It looks really nice. Marcellus, you want to speak on it, or?
Yeah, I can begin, and you can continue if I lose my words.
No worries.
So,
no worries.
Yeah, so now we are in the version 2.0.7. So it's actually the main version. I see that we have some nodes that are on the 2.0.6. You have to note that these two versions will be depreciated, I think, by July something. And it's also because that we are already working on the 2.1 version that will be released by May, I think. So we have some time to change this node. And this will be the begin of some kinds of an fork because we will activate some new functionality. And for activating this functionality, we also have to let all the node behind that will be disconnected from the main chain. So, but this will only happen by end of year, by December, I think, or maybe January. So in the meantime, we have the halving that is coming. So we really focus on this one. So the 2.1 version will also really be the Blossom activation. So for the people that not know what is really Blossom, Blossom is the capability to change the block time. So you can reduce it or adapt it. But we at BitcoinZ, we only take this functionality, but we doesn't change the block time. We keep at 150 seconds the block time average for now, because this is something that is working well for now, and we don't need more. So it could be a big discussion about that, I think.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe later next year into 2022, we will have the version 3.0 that will coming. So the hard-root activation, the hard-root code. So this will bring some new functionality on the chain. For the private addresses, it's also because that this proofs decommissioning, it's also the path to going to the hard-root update, because miner will be able to mine on directly private address. So yep. So I make a little the turn of this. Maybe Rex, you will add something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to kind of point out a few things here, and one of the main things being that the 2.1 update is basically going to start. It's going to end up being a consensus change. Is that correct, Marcella? So we'll start,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what that means, guys, is it's going to be a fork. So the old nodes are going to be deprecated. We're not going to be able to use those anymore, and it's going to basically fork off like if we went into Zcash. And I think we've had different things now to where those nodes just won't work anymore. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but at least they won't be able to join the network. So around that time in May, I think actually Marcellus and I have been discussing this quite a bit extensively about how we have to lay the groundwork for this. So this involves us deploying nodes internally but publicly, so that we can create a bridge together. I think we're going to do the whole bridge concept, Marcellus, so we can kind of make sure that everybody stays together, mining pools, exchanges, and all that. So it's kind of, if anyone here in the chat remembers, I know everyone here in this chat in the live of the speakers, we remember the Zcash fork and what we had to do. I remember it specifically, obviously, because I was directly involved with it. But we're going to do a lot of the same steps, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to end up, forking to the new feature set, and then we'll, continue going on forward from there. So that's going to be coming around May or so. And also, I wanted to point out that it does fix a little bit based on Marcellus's research. He spent a lot of time, like he does most of the time, with the code base and looking at the Zcash core commits and the changes that they release, found that there was a little bit of a block, kind of a differentiation in the block times. And so he found out that, obviously the updates are, they kind of adjust and fix that a little bit to kind of make sure that we're aligned. But also up for discussion will be if we're going to actually change the block time, which I don't think is probably going to happen. I think that's kind of a consensus thing. So I wanted to make sure and point that out, that it is going to be a fork, and there are going to be some changes that cause us to kind of, leave the old stuff behind and move on to the new stuff. But little by little, we're making it there, and it requires a lot of testing. That's basically what I like about this, Marcellus, is we get to see how it happens on Zcash. We're Zcash core, so we get to see a lot of the things that are going on their chain. and make sure that we account for it, when we implement it and we release our own updates. So I like that idea, but that's where we're at. That's the roadmap. Any other questions on core updates? I want to thank Marcellus for his hard work as well, always.
Thanks,
and I
Rex,
want
for the precision.
of course, I also want to mention that Marcellus, all of the code that he has implemented, it's worked. It's always worked. We tested it. It works. The halving works. Everything works. It just works. So I'm just happy to be able to kind of go with only a couple times and it works the first time, if not the second time, but it's quick. It's very quick. So thanks again for that.
Thank you,
welcome,
Marcellus, our
Very welcome.
powerhouse.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I will just add it's also for the precaution that we take, that we decided to make the Blossom update only after the halving, so we have time until the end of the year. Because, as Rex has said, it's a lot of stuff to put in place for these consortium changes. And also it's because we decided to do it over 3 versions to be sure that we doesn't go in a surprising situation.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That consensus is the most important part that most of us concern ourselves with, but mainly Marcellus and myself, obviously, making sure that it can go. More Marcellus than I mean, I'm more of the testing guy behind the scenes, but I've learned a lot. I'm going to continue to learn a lot. So I think that kind of covers it for the upcoming updates. If there's any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat and we'll get to them when we get to them. Moving on to the next slide here. Yes, some recent news. I know this recent news. Sure, there's a lot. So one of the biggest things, and I think decentralized exchange was obviously something very important, especially for a community like this as well. We're about privacy and a global community, and I think this is kind of a huge, really a huge benefit to us to be on these types of things, to these DEXs. And I think Vandar explicitly reached out to the team, and I want to give a shout out, even though he's not here, he probably won't hear this, but CIPI from the Komodo team, and I think the AtomicDEX team, he's been really helpful. He helped us back in the day with barter DEX, and now he made this part easy for us to add. And I will say that this AtomicDEX, I hope people have started to use it. I have seen some people kind of share some screenshots of their experiences with it. So let's use it as much as we can to support the platform, and of course support our real goal of these being truly decentralized, continuing to be truly decentralized. So these behind the scenes, the way this works is that it requires Electrum servers, and again, I hope people understand that someone has to run those. So there's people behind the scenes in the community that are running these things, and I think shortly we'll put out something that I think I've Dockerized it. Marcellus, I don't know, I'm sure you're super busy, but I wanted to mention that I did Dockerize the deployment of the Electrum server side, and I think I'll make some instructions to kind of make it easy so that people can kind of just join up or launch their own. They a lot of people wondering how they can help. Well, you can run a Docker instance with an Electrum server, and we can add it to the AtomicDEX on the list of the Electrum wallet as well. And they can they can discover each other. Actually, if we turn peer discovery on, they can just discover each other, and they can just start it'll self add itself to the network. So I think that's what I'm going to work on behind the scenes slowly. It's pretty simple to do, I think. So kind of push that out there, and we'll have a lot more Electrum servers out there to kind of help really solidify decentralization like we have already. So I'm gonna go to the next slide here. Anything else on that, Marcellus? Were you gonna say something?
No, I would just add, it's a good job that you've done with the Dockerizing, and we need more applications that are Dockerized like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
and
one click and running only. That is very nice.
Yes. I really want to do with more things. So I know Renuzit left a lot of that stuff behind as well. Like he did Dockerize a few things as well. So, we can go off those things, and it's kind of makes it a lot easier so that we can have more people help the network. That's what this is about. Everyone coming together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just,
Want to go
just a small question from
Go ahead.
a naive beginner here.
Uh-huh.
If I run a VPS, can I run your Electrum wallets and support the AtomicDEX?
Yes, absolutely. You
Okay,
can.
perfect.
I think the lowest, the easiest thing, you can probably get a 2 gigabyte VPS and add like a 4 gig swap file. Yeah, 2 gigabyte of RAM. I mean, maybe a
Yeah.
50 gigabyte hard drive or so, and you should be fine because it uses a node. It needs to connect to the node, so you have to run the node and you run the actual Electrum. But yeah, you can run it definitely on a VPS. That's what they're running on right now. You don't need anything crazy beefy. So, and the more we
Sure.
have, the better the resources will be across the board. So it kind of shares the load,
Yeah, let's hope more people will join our board and support
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I hope so.
Amazing platform.
Yeah, it is. It's. I did kind of look at it a little bit, but of course, that was early on. I think things a little bit changed. But looking at this, anything else, Monobody? I'm sorry.
No, not really. No, that was just
Okay.
like a basic question here.
I would
Okay,
like to
cool.
say a couple of things, guys, about
Sure.
this AtomicDEX.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to underline that this is a double listing. It is a wallet application that offers the unique feature of a decentralized exchange. I would like to explain that a decentralized exchange is when the users are able to exchange coins of different types directly, peer-to-peer, without needing any third party. You know, the usual third party is a centralized exchange, which uses many addresses for the listed coins. And the users are giving orders after their deposits, of course. So after they have exchanged the desired cryptocurrencies, they have to make a withdrawal to their wallets, back to their wallets. This is why we always say your keys, your coins, because in the case of a centralized exchange, you don't own your coins while your coins are in the exchange's addresses. In the case of the AtomicDEX, we have a completely different approach. You have your keys and your wallet, and you can put orders asking for other coins in the same application. So when there are other users that wish to trade the coins that the user has asked for in the requested values, then the AtomicDEX is doing its magic with a minimal fee, which is just 0.15%, only for the buyer, not for the seller. And this is achieved with the atomic swaps technology, which is developed, like CryptoRx said, by the Komodo team. By the way, BitcoinZ and Komodo, we share the same vision about freedom and privacy. So this is a very important listing. We won't mention any technical details here, but we can arrange to have CP or someone else from the Komodo team in a next meeting, maybe as a guest. And until then, we hope that we will have been listed in the versions for the mobile devices as well. Currently, we are listed just in the desktop version. However, I have to say that the desktop version is maybe the most important, because the user in an exchange like the AtomicDEX has to always run the program and to be online in order to have his orders active. This is why the liquidity depends on how many people have done this. A desktop PC program can be left online more easily for longest periods of time, providing the required trading liquidity in several trading pairs, in contrast with the mobile application, which is closing more often. Besides, a user can use a TeamViewer or such a program in order to monitor some transactions from his mobile devices in his PC. In any case, this is the only shortcoming, if we can call it so, of the AtomicDEX, because again, this has only to do with how people have got used to the model of the centralized exchanges. It's up to us. It's up to us. It's up to them all to turn to a new model. This new model has many advantages, like this diagram presents to us. The centralized exchange risks are eliminated. There are no more hacks or scam exits, because you own your own coins in your own wallet. There is no platform that can take it from you. Even if your device has a failure or something, you can import again your seed and take back your coins in another device. The fees are very low, of course, because except the very low trading fees, there is no withdrawal. No withdrawal means no extra fees for the withdrawal. You save time exactly because of this, because there's no withdrawal. And there are many different pairs. The most centralized exchanges are providing just one pair, maybe to the coin versus the Bitcoin and or the Litecoin or Ethereum. So here you have the option to trade directly with every other listed coin. The trading pairs are unlimited theoretically. It's only the only thing that can limit you is the liquidity, nothing else. You can, for example, there are users that ask to buy BitcoinZ using their Dogecoin or their Digibyte or Zcash, and you wish to sell BitcoinZ for Zcash, you can have directly BitcoinZ and Zcash trade without needing to make Bitcoin first or Litecoin first, selling BitcoinZ and then buy Zcash using the Bitcoin or the Litecoin. Finally, we have to mention that with AtomicDEX, actually the connected projects can have exactly what all the Ethereum tokens enjoy. This is what the picture on the left is trying to say, because the whole DeFi tokenization hype has to do exactly with this thing. The Ethereum offered something like this for the tokens that are developed in its own ecosystem and are depending, of course, on the Ethereum blockchain. But now with the AtomicDEX, we enjoy this without being a wrapped or tokenized version, with those coins that are W Bitcoin or W Zcash, W BitcoinZ, which are tokens in the Ethereum platform. And these tokens enjoy the swapping feature, but you have to pay huge fees for the Ethereum transaction gas fee. So we have all these without the need to tokenize our coin. It is very, very important. And of course, all this thing with the Ethereum, in my humble opinion, is against the decentralization and the pure cryptocurrency idea, because everything is depending on Ethereum, and the gas fees are insane. We speak for about 60 euros or 50 euros. It's insane.
Yeah, that's a good point, Vandar. That's a very good point. I didn't think about it that way. That is true. You're basically swapping native tokens on their own chains, basically.
Exactly.
Through the AtomicDEX, and without having, that's a good point. I never thought about it that way, but that's a very, very good point. Yeah. And yeah, the gas fees are crazy. Ethereum is overloaded. They've got their own issues to deal with. But yeah. So thanks for all those points. And that, anything else on that, Vandar? I kind of was agreeing with you on that other last point, but anything else?
No, that's it from me, guys, about that.
Okay.
I just have one observation. I made a transfer from wallet into this AtomicDEX desktop platform, and I think maybe it's the nature of Electrum wallet, but that was the quickest BitcoinZ transaction I've seen. it was instantaneous. Like within a second, I saw the transaction appearing on the AtomicDEX. It's super quick.
Yeah, yeah. It is the, I think it is the nature of the way the Electrum system works. It's, you know, I'm kind of surprised that you know, Electrum is it's pretty widely used, and I feel like they could, I don't know, maybe it's self-marketing, but Electrum is a very powerful platform. The server wallet, you know, platform is just, it's easy to deploy, and it just, I don't know. In my experiences, I've launched Electrum servers for different blockchains, and it's the same for all of them. All you need is the node and basically the, you know, a few settings. If there are not already there, you add them to the Electrum server configuration, and it just goes. It's crazy. It's really awesome. But yeah, that's interesting to mention, Monobody, how quick they are. But it is the nature of the way, you know, the way Electrum talks to the node is just all pure text, basically. You know, it sends the hex encoded transaction, basically metadata, and it executes. So that's getting a little bit technical, but yeah, that's basically what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It just talks to the node, and that's it.
Yeah.
Go
very
ahead.
powerful. It's a very powerful exchange, decentralized. You are not entrapped within any major blockchain like Ethereum, for example. But I hope that some of us or BitcoinZ members will create a video explaining or demonstrating how you can perform a simple trade on this AtomicDEX for others to get familiarized with how this whole decentralized wallet exchange platform works. That would be very useful.
Yes, absolutely. That would be somebody kind of showing us their own experience on how it's worked for them. That's what I call a call to arms. Is that what it is, Monobody? Call to arms. Come on, guys.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Do something, guys. Come on. I mean, the social media activity is huge, which I think Vandor will touch on it, but it's grown 10 times, I'd say. Anything else on AtomicDEX so far? Think we're good for the next slide? Cool. I take that as a yes. So I spoke a little bit earlier about the Electrum wallet, and it has launched, I think, a few months ago, and we're actually relying on it, obviously, for the AtomicDEX and as well as our own branded Electrum wallet. So that I'm sorry, I thought I heard some feedback. That alone is something that you can download the client and run it. I will mention that it's worked really, really well, but I will say that recently, as I don't know, a few days ago or earlier this week, I had to redeploy some Electrum server instances. So that might have caused a slight interruption. But like we've always said, the way these systems work, and it's probably good to say it again, your coins are on the blockchain. If you lose your private keys and your seeds, is the only way that you'll lose your coins permanently. There's usually always a way. Sometimes it seems like something is it does seem like when the Electrum you know, we had to redeploy it, it may interrupt it a little bit, but there are some things you can do, you know, that I think I'll put out if someone's having any problems. But again, you have your seed, you have your seeds and your private keys, you're not gonna lose it. And if you set, and this is another reminder too, if you use a seed phrase and you add to it or you use a password, you need to remember your password too, because in some cases, some wallets actually generate your private key pairs using your password as well as the seed phrase. So you have to have everything, guys. If you lose, you know, one of those items, you're done. You're not gonna, you know, you're gonna have a problem. So again, your coins are on the blockchain. Use Electrum. If there's an interruption, it's probably, you know, don't be alarmed. You're not gonna lose everything. It's not all gone. Usually, you know, I think 100% of the time we've been able to help people. If they have their information with them, we're able to help them. So, but there are, I encourage everyone to try and use Electrum wallet as much as they can and report any issues. You know, we're handling the servers, and again, we're going to kind of implement something so that everyone can share and help deploy more of these Electrum instances. These Electrum servers would be very helpful to have, because again, it just makes it stronger. But I do anticipate we'll have at least some primary servers up and running in pretty much all the time, as far as I'm concerned. It's not extremely difficult. You know, it kind of runs on itself. So, if there are any questions on Electrum at the moment? No. Okay.
You do have to keep up with the core updates, right? With your wallet, with your Electrum wallet here.
Yes, you should. You should. Well, with the Electrum wallet, you should keep up with the Electrum wallet updates. The node, the core node updates, we have to take care of that on our own. That's a good question. Yeah, our core node updates. Will whoever's running an Electrum server will have to just redeploy, but we'll probably have easy ways to do that. Especially once we re-dockerize the node. I think it's already dockerized, but I have to make sure that it kind of works together and have an instruction sheet. But yes, that's a good question. And to kind of add to that, really core node updates are important for anything that requires a full node. So it's hard to say what doesn't, but your full node wallet, obviously you have to update that because it actually uses the node on your machine. But like your Coinamis and your all your other wallets, they update the node themselves, and that it should be fine.
They're pretty quick about it, right?
Updating they are. And I reach out to them as well and kind of let them know, hey guys, you gotta update ahead of it as well as the exchanges. So usually though, they see it on their own. They monitor the GitHub stuff, so they can kind of just update it themselves.
Guys, another thing about the BitcoinZ Electrum wallet is that it's very important that you can import your seed from the mobile BitcoinZ wallet, because people are usually confused. They wish to import a single private key, but they get the phrase, the passphrase, and they don't have to import it directly in another wallet option. And the Electrum wallet is offering an option in order to import it directly in it.
Wow. Yeah, awesome.
I think that Chance Effects recently helped many members to do this procedure.
Go ahead, Marcellus.
Yeah, ChanceFX give a lot of help of this, because we had some misunderstanding with the derivation path, and this is a story that I can't tell you here because I will not be able to explain you. But you have to know that basically every light wallet can use its own derivation path. So you have the recovery passphrase. It can give you a tons of address, and no one of these address you can found. So every address say only 0, 0, 0. So this is mainly the cause because the derivation path is strong. And the big positive of this Electrum wallet is that you can configure your own derivation path. So this is very good. Nice wallet. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that's and I'm gonna, now that you mentioned the derivation path, I can't say it either, Marcellus. The derivation path is, I'm gonna paste the link here. It's convenient to say WTF is a derivation path, and if you guys want to dig in deep on that in the community, you can look at what derivation path really means. So, but basically, if you don't have it, you have problems, and it could be kind of a little bit of a pain to have that kind of transfer your coins out to other places if you don't have that.
But okay. Again, you have the K, you have the passphrase, you have your BTCZ. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Very good.
So you would guys still argue that paper wallet is the best?
It depends. It depends what you want to do, I guess. I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good storage, but don't forget it's only paper. So yeah.
And last time I checked, paper burns.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good paper wallet is also good, but you have other issues behind that, because if your house is burning, so you lose your coins because you don't have the key. It's on the paper. So yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you could print maybe 10 of them and put them in 10 different parts of the world, I guess, as well, right? Or you can give them out. You can give away. I like paper wallets giving out to people. Kind of giving it to some family members or something. Here, import it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to know that paper wallet is basically the key of the address that is written in a QR code. So it's you can have the same key on a computer and the computer burns and you're losing the same.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you have to have, multiple backup if you have very huge amount of coins. So backup is also important. And yeah, this is a big discussion about how to back up my coins really, but yeah, it can be a long way to discuss about that. But paper wallet are basically good. I like it too. Yeah,
I don't mind it. It's good to have, like you're saying, multiple backups. You have to, especially like what happens like OVH, right, Marcellus?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty sad that happened, but yeah. If anyone heard what I'm referring to, OVH.
Yeah, could you rephrase?
The data center that kind of went up in flames a couple of weeks ago or so.
Yeah, we had I think some people here know that the OVH it's one of the biggest data center in Europe. So they had a big issue. Everything's burned down. 2 other data center was shut down, and at business we had a lot of issue because of this, and I'm sure other people too. But it will say that big company that have so big data, they can also lose data. It's possible. We always meant that it's not possible that this company lose data, but Google, Microsoft is able to lose data. So you have to take care. Yeah,
you have to have your
absolutely
backups. Any questions in here yet? No, nothing. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next slide here. Thanks, Marcellus Monobody. Social activity. I think this is I will say, like I mentioned earlier, it's a huge uptick in that, and there's people behind it, so I'll let them do the chatting here. I think is that Vandar or maybe even Rock.
Yes, we have a new LinkedIn community account. We hadn't any until today, and every different application has different people and different style interacting with our community accounts. In the LinkedIn, for example, we have a more preppy, more serious look. We're sharing our articles about what is a cryptocurrency, explaining definitions, about our news. In Pinterest, we have categories with different pins and dashboards. For example, we have a different dashboard with including pins about why BitcoinZ is a so unique cryptocurrency, explaining what is transparent loans, a fair distribution, a decentralized network. We have another dashboard for our news in the TikTok or Instagram, because we have different accounts in all the popular applications. We have a more light approach. We have memes with funny photographs or small videos. In Facebook and Twitter, we have the mainstream activity. But the numbers are really very, very very good recently. We have the Blockfolio signal, thanks to Monobody and his tries to contact the Blockfolio.
That was funny, yeah.
Yes. But this is a very effective. Thank you, Monobad, for this. This is a very effective way to share news about everything. It has many people who are interested in cryptocurrencies. It is very targeted, you know. And we can see in the next slide, I think, the numbers. I have to remind that the BitcoinZ community accounts and the social media applications are not using any bots or paid or fake followers. You know what I mean. We are proud of having 100% real and organic growth. That's why maybe the numbers may seem not so impressive or something, but if you see the change in just 3 months, it is very good, especially for our Twitter and Reddit accounts. In the Facebook, we have a problem because of many spammers which who usually make fake competitions, saying that they will, the classic scam, that they will give away Bitcoin or Ethereum coins if you send them first some, and you know they never end. They are making comments every time we are making a post, pretending that they are the original BitcoinZ poster, and they pay trolls for this, that they commenting under the announcement that they have received their prizes. You know, this is the most classic scam in the cryptocurrency world, and people have to be extra careful with this.
Absolutely, yes. It's especially, it happens more, Vander, I see, when, you know, when crypto starts going up and, you know, there's a bull market, and, you know, everyone just starts trying to scam everyone, all the new blood, you know, they try and take advantage of all the new blood all the time.
Yes. And it is very sad seeing this situation going on, and they are finding every time new ways to make the scams.
Yep.
These numbers are really impressive. This is the watch lists in the CoinMarketCap and the CoinGecko and our followers in Blockfolio. I have to underline that in Blockfolio, the change is it's smaller because we hadn't the signals active for all these 3 months. We had them active just for the last month or something. In contrast, in CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, really we have really seen a huge increase in the interest for the people who are watching us.
Wow.
This is very important.
That's impressive, actually, to see that growing that way. Huh. And
that makes sense. Yeah.
Thanks for obviously also tracking all this stuff. This is another important piece of intelligence that you use to grow a community.
Of course, yes, guys. We will keep going with this in every ZBrain meeting every 3 months. It's not a big deal. We will provide a table with all these numbers. Sometimes maybe we will see a decrease or something, but it's very important that we have only increase for now.
That's very optimistic news.
Yes.
We are a very undervalued coin for all out there. So there is, plenty of investors, I think, that start appreciating us.
Of course,
Yep.
and the fact that we are getting older and older, and people are starting to notice that we're a blockchain with a stable activity with almost 4 years now, with people who are active and make things. It's really very important.
Sure is. Keeping that activity going for sure. But it's like I've always said, the foundation that we are, it's a stronger foundation, kind of with more quality building. You know, you let the cement dry and you build again. You let it dry, and you have a stronger foundation. That's what we're doing here. That's what it's turned out to be, which is what it's supposed to be.
Yes, exactly. You know, guys, these are the most impressive numbers out there. We can even provide the actual report from the Google Analytics. This is real numbers, and this is really impressive because you can just imagine we have 200 and more than this percent in the sessions and the pages and the users in our new community website, the getbitcoinz.com, which is really huge.
Let me go here.
Here we can see that these numbers are coming from organic search, and this is another important thing because that means that we have a good search engine results now, much better from the past, because our very name, the BitcoinZ, is a difficult name. Many people are searching for Bitcoin, and the search engines are suggesting that maybe you have made something wrong. You meant Bitcoin. No, I want BitcoinZ. You know.
Yeah.
But that is showing that the situation is getting better and better, and especially in Russia and some countries of Europe and USA, of course, we have increased the interest.
That's wow. That's great. Awesome. I'm gonna go to the next slide here.
Oh yes, this is the card about the BitcoinZ.com advancements. We can go to the next cards and we'll see it one by one.
Okay.
The first one is about the cryptospedia.com, which is a new domain that has been donated by members of the community, and it will right now it is leading to the Cryptospedia feature, the Cryptospedia section of our site, which has an increasing number of articles explaining everything about cryptos. Like CryptoRex said previously, the newcomers are very easy victims for many guys that bad guys who wish to make scams and fraudulent activity. And here in our site, the people can feel safe reading everything and preparing themselves for all these bad scenarios, to be very careful, to learn to be very careful, and know exactly everything about the cryptocurrencies. These are some examples, just some examples.
Yeah.
We have.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, we have branded unique artworks about everything. What is fiat money? What is a blockchain fork? What is a cryptocurrency? Blockchain explorer? Many of them, of those definitions.
I wanted to point out, of course, that's great work in educating everybody on this. And I also wanted to mention that I don't know who's writing these, but it's excellent work. But I have a suggestion and a question that we've been getting as we have more people come on board, Vandar. There's people that don't understand the way change addressing works, and they think that they lost their coins. They think that their wallet has a bug or that somebody's stealing their coins, because the way change addresses work is you have 10,000 address, you send 5,000 to another, it'll send the remaining 5,000 to another address on its own. I don't, sometimes people get confused and they think that somebody's stealing their coins, and it's really just another wallet address in their wallet that they have access to. So I think if somebody out there if somebody in the community wants to maybe put that together, I don't know if that exists yet, but I just something that I saw. And the other thing is sometimes people don't read. There's a lot of information out here. Especially at getbtcz.com, like everything on Cryptospedia, and it's excellent stuff. So that's just one of the things that I noticed recently. A couple of people were complaining about not understanding how change addresses work.
That's right, and we have to make a special article about this, how the UTXO blockchains, the blockchains like Bitcoin, these are the most out there, our blockchains like this, the Zcash blockchain, how the UTXO model works, because it is like a puzzle. When you're mining, you are getting many small pieces in order to gather them all. I'm trying to explain it in simple words, and raise a sum. When you're asking from your wallet to move a big sum in another wallet, sometimes you may take an error message saying that the transaction cannot be broadcasted or something. This is absolutely normal, and people don't have to panic. They have to read how UTXO model works. And about what CryptoRex said, they have to understand how these things are written in the blockchain explorer.
You pulled the word, you started getting technical when you said UTXO, but that's exactly it. Is UTXO based chains. That's how they work. So that's the key word right there, UTXO. And Vandar knows, he has an intimate understanding of that because it happened to him, right, Vandar?
Of course. Everything. Here the BitcoinZ is a big school for everyone.
It is.
Many people among us have faced many problems, and we try to solve them, and we try to write things in order to help other people. This is how it goes.
I mean, I can just tell on my example, I once wanted to send coins to address B, and I was wondering why my coins were not being delivered, and I actually was sending it to my own address.
It
and
happens.
the coins weren't moving, but actually it was within the same address when I was moving coins. So yeah, that's I guess
it's all learning.
Basic lesson A. Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
Exactly.
Here we can see that we have added the halving countdown. A halving is when the mining rewards will go exactly to the 50%. And we have about 200 days. The photograph has been taken a couple of weeks ago. And we have added this in our central page in the BitcoinZ.com and the getbitcoinz.com site. And this is a very important countdown in order to let everybody know when this is going to occur. It is about next October.
Did you say October?
October, yes.
I thought you made fusion of September and October. October.
That's right.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit in between here and there. You know what I mean? It's kind of just.
It's fluid, right?
Yeah. It's all based on consensus and how it's worked since 2018, 2017. So, September 2017, it's been a long road to now. So, there might be a slight adjustment from September to October. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what did you say? September? What? I
October. I heard October.
There you go. That works.
That's pretty much the precise date.
There you go. That sounds like blockchain precision to me. And do we have any questions here? I think Rock.
We have. Oh, sorry, guys.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that we are adding new articles every day, every week. We have a news feed. We have new articles in the Cryptospedia section. We have in the blog section. It's really nice getting all this traction in the new site and all these new visitors. This is important. We have created a sitemap. This is mostly useful for those who are participating in the human translation procedure. They can get it from the site or our Discord. We have this in our sub-channel, the Get BitcoinZ sub-channel in the Discord channel. And the participators can check the sections that they have completed with the translation procedure. For example, if someone is from Germany and is trying to fix the automated German translations of the site, when he completes the central menu options, he can tick the box. Then he can proceed in the intro. He can tick this box and the options in the 6 frames and go on. So it is 4 pages or 5 pages. So he can track the next page that he has to work for. And this is very, very important because people are dedicating their free time in order to volunteer in all this. We will try to gather some coins in order to give a symbolic reward to the translators. Already, we have enough participants for Russian, for Greek, for French. It is for Finland, for Finnish. It's very important for from Poland. Yes. In the end, yes. These are some examples from Japan. The administrators can check a list with all the fixed translations, and we have already about 1,000 phrases fixed. This is a very big number. Slowly we will get more and more phrases fixed in every language. After time we will achieve maybe about 30 different languages in order to have this site with the keywords perfectly translated in every language in the world. This is very important and really community-oriented procedure.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great way to contribute. I think we've been talking about this quite a bit, and we're getting. I heard you mention, Vandor, that we're at capacity with certain volunteers with the current languages, right? Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's good that people are jumping on like that. Okay, let me see.
You know, the cryptocurrency definitions are very difficult to understand, even in English. So imagine imagine a person that doesn't know English very well and he's trying to get information in his mother language. It's a very messy situation. So
it's a very important part that everyone can understand what is blockchain and our community, and it shows up that we are really a community that work together and decentralized. If we can get every language, this will be very nice. Yeah, of
course, yes.
That is great job, Vandor. Very great job.
Yeah, many thanks for that, Vandor.
For all the community guys, we have to thank the whole community, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people that have jumped on from the community, that's great. But kicking it off is also, a huge effort. And as I like what Marcella said. As a global community, you want to be global. You gotta speak everyone's language. I like it. I'm hearing that you guys aren't gonna have to hear my voice much longer all the time.
Oh, it's a very pleasant feeling.
Gotta lead the meeting. Gotta lead the meeting. Okay, got it.
We like your voice, Craigs.
Sounds good, man.
Really?
I'm not going anywhere. All right, SEO links backlinks campaign.
Yes. This is, we're trying to fund some campaigns with quality SEO backlinks, not spammy. You know, a spammy SEO backlink is when somebody is leaving a comment in unrelated pages and with unrelated text in it, and just puts a link for leading to our site. No, we don't wish we don't wish that thing. So we're paying for quality backlink campaigns. We had recently in more than 15 blogs and forums, some articles explaining what is BitcoinZ, providing a table where BitcoinZ is compared with all the Bitcoin named coins, underlining the fact that BitcoinZ is not a blockchain fork, never gave fork drops, free coins from to Bitcoin holders or other guys who held Bitcoin or other coins. It had no premine, no initial coin offering. All these things are explained in the Cryptospedia section. I won't say more things about that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's great. You pointed out that's another thing people are always wondering too. Was this a fork of a blockchain? No, it's not. And we've tried to mention that all the time. I think it's one of the major things that a lot of time we tweet about it. It's no ICO, no chain forks, no dev fees, fair launch, all those wonderful things about being as decentralized and fair as we can be.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go here. This is awesome right here. This is great. I love
Nobody, you have to speak about this.
this.
Oh, okay. Well, I can just say that I made this BitcoinZ account on YouTube alternative platform, which is called Odyssey, not Odyssey, it's Odyssey. It's basically a website where you upload your videos just like in YouTube, but it's fueled by library credits project. The shortcut is LBRY credits. And we have a BitcoinZ account that can be supported with LBRY donations. And all of these donations will be used for either possibly uploading additional videos or promoting their visibility in the whole Odyssey platform, which is basically like a YouTube alternative, which is blockchain based. And it's a potential alternative if we face potential censorship like what we start encountering with Facebook or any other bigger platforms. So I have uploaded so far the most important videos, are historic videos and recent videos made by Chad. So it's another place to go to see our community's video content. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I did add it in the description, Monobody. You asked me, I think, earlier for the YouTube description anyway. I think I added it there. Should appear now, but that's a great find. And I want to kind of reiterate what Monobody said about the donations using LBRY to the channel. I believe that's how it works. And you can, those are contributions that'll be, to help, as Monobody mentioned, to further reach, to kind of dig deeper into the platform.
Yeah, it increases the reach of the video if you lock library credits to a particular video. So it's a video individual case. So it's not your account, but it's a video linked. And uploading a video will have bigger impact or better visibility if you assign like 10 library credits to it. So that's what I've been doing so far to all the videos that
I'll have to look into that and send some. Gotta go buy some and go.
Yeah, yeah, sure. This video will be uploaded like within the next day. Also,
yeah, cool. Yeah,
it's you can see the address of the account in the Discord thread, Odyssey.
Awesome.
Very interesting platform and really alternative to the YouTube. And about the video itself, we tried our best to have a quality video about explaining how to mine BitcoinZ with your PC in literally 5 minutes using the mini Z miner. Of course, our friends with AMD GPUs should seek the LOL miner or an alternative miner, because this is only for NVIDIA GPUs. We will try to make more and more quality video content about BitcoinZ. It's our target. Probably the next ones will be reviews about our wallets, troubleshooting with the wallets. Maybe explaining these things that CryptoRex mentioned earlier, how the transactions work in the blockchain, and how the UXTO model is working. Such things. We will cover more and more sections.
Awesome. Great work on pushing all that out there and educating. That's the biggest thing. That's how you bring more people on board to understand, helping them learn how it works.
Yeah, education is important too. Yeah, for sure.
Of course. This is a support us card in the getbitcoinz.com site for everybody, because there are, many community members that ask, how could I help, because I don't have any talent in order to make something, but I would like to help somehow. If they wish, they can make a small donation in the coin that they wish, and we will fund a quality search engine optimization campaign, or a new video or something, in order to have a wider and longer reach for our community and for our project.
Perfect.
Yep. Absolutely. Any questions? I see somebody was asking a question about the minimum GPU.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact number about does anyone know that? I forgot.
Think that it is a GTX model with for at least for the mini Z guys. It is a GTX with minimum 2 GB of RAM.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds right. 2 GB sounds right, because I remember when Renuzit and I were looking at the algo switch, the 1445s the perimeters, the equihash perimeters 1445 took up a certain amount of space, and I was trying to find the table, but I can't find it. But I'm going to look for it again, and I'll put it out there in announcements, because I think it'd be interesting to know. But I agree. I think it is 2 GB. I'm just curious now from the equihash specification what the actual payload is. It's kind of technical, but I'm going to look it up again. Any other questions? Someone was asking about the ASIC resistance. Just kind of in a nutshell, ASICs are the way ASICs are, or at least the ones that we are used to understanding as far as miners are concerned. They are specific to an algorithm. Usually, they're not as easy to kind of, change, interchangeable. I don't know if they've come up with that now, but that's how it's been for a long time. You buy an ASIC miner and it mines only a certain algo, And the other thing is that based on the research we did when we switched to Zhash or to these perimeters, these echo hash perimeters, 1445 Zhash, it requires much more memory to be used as far as more than the actual to run the actual calculation. I think it requires more chip memory on board for it to actually go through the iterations it has to mine. So that's kind of what helps mitigate ASICs. But that's not to say that it'll never happen, but it's pretty strong that pretty likely not. Based on that, and if it does, that's why we kind of forked the first time. I'm looking for more questions here.
About the ASICs, I would like to add something because I had noticed a couple of members asking, "Oh, we don't have an ASIC in our network." No, but until now we see that we don't have, because if an ASIC like the Antminer joins our network, you would certainly understand that its mining power would be like our whole network or something. It is massive. So the rewards for a GPU holder and a simple member that has a PC mining using his GPU would be meaningless. You would see something about 200 coins daily or something like this, while now the rewards are much higher, are thousands for a medium GPU.
Yep.
So yep, exactly. I will digest. It's a little bit joking, but if ASIC jump in our chain, I think that we will not longer find the half of the blocks that we find now with the GPU. The GPU will suddenly don't find any block, and every block will go to the ASIC miner. I think in this situation that we are now. So we will see it very, very fast. Yeah. Again, I think not this will happen because the 1445 parameter are not so common on the other chains, and we will see in the future. The future is really something that we don't know what will coming, and of course soon that BitcoinZ will jump to the moon, ASICs will be interested on it, and then we will have to do something. But for now, I don't think we have any danger for ASIC miner.
Yep, that makes sense. We would notice it basically. There would be a lot of signs showing us that there's ASICs on the network, because you'll see a lot of different things change as far as mining rewards are concerned.
So for any hesitant miners out there, this is your opportunity window here, because if ASIC jumps in, you might have harder time mining so many coins as you can now.
Yeah, if they get there, if they're able to, if somebody decides to do that and they manufacture an ASIC, that's the other thing. The expense, I think, based on the research, it was too expensive to create an ASIC that would hold the amount of memory that you need to have on board for it to.
For Zcash algo.
Yeah, for those parameters. And then there's other parameters. So I think there's always a way to kind of help alleviate something like that.
There's a couple of other projects that could be targeted apart from us, right, with the Zcash algo. I
think there are some other projects that are using 1445 still. Yes.
Bitcoin Gold, I think.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yep.
So the ASIC risk could be out there potentially in the future. Yeah.
Yes.
But then we have. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
This is a never-ending battle with the ASICs, but we can be proud of having a clean history, a network clean of without ASICs for the last almost 4 years.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. We've kind of already been going through some feedback. Let's look for some more questions here. Regarding Electrum wallet, no, you don't need to leave it open. It doesn't necessarily contribute to the network. Electrum servers do, which I think, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to make a a simple instruction sheet for people that kind of have some technical expertise to launch a Docker instance, and we can have more Electrum servers on the network that will help each other. That will help. A full node does help though. When you run a full node wallet, it does. Somebody was asking about Uniswap, and mentioned earlier by Vandar. Basically, you use AtomicDEX, and it's not quite obviously like Uniswap because it relies on Ethereum blockchain. We want to try hard to not rely on any blockchain other than our own.
Mm-hmm.
As being as decentralized as we can. We can use other platforms to kind of build off of, but we want to remain in our own chain, so to speak.
Guys, Mr. Kratex, the guy behind the Kratex exchange, had expressed has expressed that he would finally join us. I don't know if he made it in order to be in time for the meeting. I don't know. Rock has contacted him in the Discord channel or something.
Yes, I did. I also sent him the link in Discord channel, but he did not reply. He's idle,
maybe
so
he was driving or something, so
yes, he's in traffic, so
he couldn't make it. Okay.
Yeah.
We could just say that Kratex exchange is an alternative exchange made with no KYC requirements, know your client requirements. It doesn't have long registration procedures, and it has US clients accepted, I think, or something. So maybe it is an option for some people. And it is offering many different BitcoinZ pairs, except versus Litecoin or Bitcoin, the classic ones. They offer many more exotic pairs. Of course, liquidity is always, like with the AtomicDEX, an issue because people are bringing the liquidity. So only if more and more people join an exchange is getting higher trading volume. That's from me.
So far, it's the only exchange, right, where you can have BitcoinZ pairs, trading pairs, right?
BitcoinZ trading pairs versus other coins.
Versus other coins, yeah.
And AtomicDEX.
And Atomic, of course. Yeah.
Yes, a different approach, of course. The one is really decentralized. The other one is a centralized exchange where you have to deposit your coins, make the transaction, and then withdraw back to your wallet the traded coins. But yes, they both have exotic pairs, so you can find Dodge versus BitcoinZ and such pairs. That makes it interesting, and the fact that they both don't require KYC, long procedures of taking videos and passports and screenshots and such things.
Cool.
I just see. Sorry, Rex. I just see a question in the chat about the quantum computer. So I would like just have a simple answer on this. If quantum computer come in our home for everybody, we will have a lot of other problem as only our blockchain, because a quantum computer can break a key in a couple of seconds, that now need a couple of years. So this is another story about quantum computers. I think it's not here for now, I think.
Yeah, I guess what Marcellus is trying to say also is that if quantum computers were really any threat to cryptography in any way, we'd have bigger issues than a BitcoinZ.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody was asking about a 51% attack, and we've discussed this a lot. If you have POW, in my opinion, I mean, you're gonna always, to an extent, be susceptible. I mean, you can't completely protect it, but we do have protections in place that we implemented years ago from, I think, SnowGem, and it has, you know, rolling checks. Every time a block is submitted and verified, a new one, it has to check that the previous certain amount of blocks actually kind of, the calculation adds up correctly. So that's been implemented and we haven't had any issues, but I'm never going to say that a POW can never be attacked. I mean, there are ways to do it. I'm sure people will find a way, but as far as now, we have not detected anything like that, especially after we implemented those changes, those mitigations.
Okay, I also saw the question about Ledger. Ledger is coming sooner or later, I hope. I'm still struggling with developers, but I think it's close to finish now. So I hope that by the end of this month, it should be finished. I hope. That's for the Ledger.
Yeah, thanks, Rock. I mean, it's just, you know, people come on board and then they, you know, we've had a couple of people just show up and then disappear, or show up and then disappear, or work and then disappear, or, you know, so it's an ongoing process to do that, and it takes time. But we do encourage you know, any developer volunteers that actually want to really contribute some time to help. You know, we have already new people helping, but you know, we need more, and I encourage people to really develop or give their time to help us develop, especially the core side of things. You know, technical expertise, we need it pretty badly. You know, we continue to move on the way we move, no matter what. But it's as we grow and we have more things going on, more responsibilities, we do need the help.
Yes, and if you
Exactly.
think you could contribute to BitcoinZ, or you want to contribute and you don't know who to contact, just directly message CryptoRex, Marcellus, Rock Vander, or myself on the main Discord channel, and we can, I'm sure, facilitate things to happen.
Yes. And you know, there's certain things. I'm sorry, I interrupted somebody. Marcellus, were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to mention also, there's a difference, you know, between, and I want to be careful that people understand what I mean by this when I say contribute. We don't have time to hold your hand through it either. I mean, I want to be, you know, I don't want to sound mean about it, but there are certain basic understanding of the way, you know, a Linux box works, or the way command line works, that we want to assume that you kind of already understand those basic things, so that you can really, you know, add that kind of value. You know, there are people that come and I give them a few pointers and I guide them, but it just, you know, you have to be thirsty to learn something new that you like it. That's why I joined up, because I wanted to learn about it. And I think everyone here is just willing to learn. And so that's really one of the key factors. You have to actually be willing to get out of your comfort zone, and you not feel overwhelmed when you read one sentence and be like, okay, I can't do this. I get it, but it takes effort to really figure things out.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hard way to understand everything, and nobody is able to understand everything. Again, we have to help use each other for sure, and yeah, that is the path. You have to make research and to read some article and go inside and try it. And it's also because that we will run the testnet. So on the testnet, you have no risk to lose something. It's only for testing. If you crash the testnet, it's not a problem. It's here for that. And my apology for some people. I know sometimes I doesn't answer because like everyone, we have our other stories to do, and yeah, that is the path we have ready to work. And yeah, if you jump in, it's really because you are interested in this. And if after 2 years or 3 years you don't really go ahead with this, it's not a big issue. We have to, one is going ahead and the other is coming in, and so it's the way. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's the way to move forward. Exactly. Yeah. Someone was saying about comfort zone. Yeah. Comfort zone equals, no growth. Exactly. Absolutely right. I think another good example, I myself, I had never really deployed Insight Explorer, and Marcellus is busy doing what he's doing, and he asked me to set up Insight. I said, well, I've never done it, but I'm going to read. And, through his, direction and guidance, I went with it and I was able to get it to work. I ran into some problems, but I figured it out, right? Because that's just what you do. And there's nothing special about it. It's just that, I'm willing to figure it out, and then you have to come to the front door with, being willing to do that. So that's awesome. Yeah. You start lagging. That's right, Marabati. Yeah.
Yeah. Active attitude. This is what's needed. And then I'm confident we will do very, very well. I mean, the more people we attract, the better we are.
Yep.
Active learners, please join us.
Exactly. Please join us. And we've actually grown quite a bit. So there's new people already behind the scenes that didn't want to come to this meeting, based on their scheduling, but they're behind the scenes. It's growing. So, and there's people that have actually in the past couple of weeks come and gone. So that's a different story, but that's what happens. That's what happens. If you don't, no one's going to force you to do it either.
Yeah. No strings attached. You're not forced for anything. The future is bright, though.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else? I think we're on the last slide. We answered a few questions. We're about hitting the 1 hour and a half mark. I think we can wrap it up and go through our weekend. Yeah,
that's a healthy length of video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Again, well, thanks for joining us, BitcoinZ. We'll have another ZBrain meeting within a few months, and keep a lookout with other updates as we, Discord and all our social media channels. As usual, Blockfolio signals, everything. Use AtomicDEX, try Electrum wallet, run a full node, and continue being decentralized.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.